Welcome and thank you all for being here for our bi-weekly Eastside wrap meeting where we're discussing the impacts of homelessness on the East Side. My name's Landon Rank. I'm the Director of Programs with SB Act, and this is a partnership with the City of Santa Barbara as a part of our South County Collaborative to address homelessness. So we have with us Barbara Anderson with the City Administrator's Office, as well as other city staff, as well as Councilmember Santa Maria is with us today. So we're grateful that you're all here. Um, the schedule for this meeting is the typical. So we'll be meeting in 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks after that. And I'm pulling up the dates right now. It's February 6th and then the 20th. Um, sorry, I'm just letting someone into the Zoom. Wanted to note the warming centers were actually open last night in South Santa Barbara County. I don't believe they are open tonight. I haven't heard otherwise. But just a note, it is still warming center season through mid-March. So please keep spreading the word if you are not already. Maybe we won't get into this too much right now. But I do want to just open it up to Barbara to maybe do introductions for new city staff or any
I
other
would
announcements you want
be
to share.
happy to do that. I would be happy to do that. So Caroline Payne is our new housing and homeless services manager. We are thrilled to have her. She started last week. So she's getting adjusted to all of the incredible work we're doing with our amazing partner organizations. And I know that she's slowly but surely introducing and having, time with everyone to get to know folks. So, and she was able to join us last week for our community meeting and met a number of folks on the east side as well. So just thrilled to have her as part of the team. She comes with a depth of experience around homelessness related services, and already getting up to speed on our affordable housing as well as our CDBG and other human services related work. So, Carrie, I will turn it over to you to say a few words to the group. But this is our Eastside Regional Action Plan, which is part of our Act on Homelessness Collaborative. We are in our fifth year of facilitating a strategic planning, shared measurement approach to how we make progress on homelessness related goals. And so SB Act has been the facilitator of that collaborative for that period of time. And these were really focused, neighborhood based, um, facilitated groups to advance our goals in terms of street exits. And so we were tracking that for our first 3 years. We had a 100 person street exit goal that we actually were able to achieve and exceed in that first 3 years. And then since then, we've really kind of made this a how do we address concerns, knowing that homelessness impacts everyone. And I think the East Side, because of the predominant number of agencies we have facilitating service delivery on the East Side, really maintaining this as a communications loop and accountability mechanism to the community of the progress we're making, and how we're monitoring issues, as they escalate, which happens, ebbs and flows over the course of the year, as well as bringing new providers to the table, when there's an opportunity to do that. The last thing I'll say, Carrie, for background is there's a conditional use permit requirement with the 816 Cacique shelter to communicate to the neighborhood. And so there was an existing neighborhood partnership that they facilitated, PATH facilitated to be able to meet that requirement. Because the RAP was meeting regularly, we actually use this now as the mechanism for that reporting out. And so Mercy House would be doing the same thing to meet those requirements as well. So both Act on Homelessness strategic planning collaborative related, but then making sure that we have the CUP requirements being met regularly as well. So Carrie, I will turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Happy to meet everybody. Look forward to making some in-person appointments with folks so I can get to know the players a little bit more personally. I think, we all know homelessness is a very individualized issue, and, our our personalities and connections make a big difference. So look forward to meeting folks and just really trying to get oriented with the whole city world, but also my role and learning a lot from Barbara. This was my first Zoom meeting, so I had to like download it really quick. So that's how new I am. So yeah, I'm just in learning mode, but please, if you know, we have standard, I think, formulas for emails with the city, but it's cpayne at santabarbaraca.gov. Please feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to meet folks and I'm excited to be here.
Well, thank you so much. We're really glad you're here, both in this role and also just a part of this meeting. But really grateful that the city's investing so much in homelessness specifically to really try and focus on the issue. Um, I was going to say something else and it's slipped my mind, but I will add you to the calendar invite for this moving forward. That was it. So that you have it.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then I do want to take a moment to thank everyone for their engagement and participation in the kind of welcome to the neighborhood meeting we had with Mercy House last week. I will say it really warmed my heart to see the kind of cautious optimism there was, and that, we can hopefully have a fresh start, and working with Mercy House to, reset expectations, making sure that those expectations include the neighborhood, and that there's, responsiveness that we haven't experienced for quite a while as issues emerge. Um, and I also want to kind of express my gratitude to our mayor and council. I will say it's unusual to have city leadership embrace taking on an investment of this complexity with a shelter facility. So a lot of government jurisdictions kind of have a one-step removed approach and allow the nonprofit sector to kind of take the opportunity, and we support them, behind the scenes, but this is us taking the lead. And so both gratitude, appreciation, really highlighting and showing their leadership and prioritization around this issue, investment in the Lower East Side neighborhood, and to everyone's patience as we take it one day at a time. I will say we had 3 plumbing agencies companies on site last week. Um, so every week brings a new hurdle. And we are doing the best we can. So I just wanted to take a moment to share thanks both for the engagement, but then also the leadership we have in the city and making this a priority.
Yeah, thank you for that, Barbara. And I know we'll be seeing their staff on these calls. I have to imagine that the first couple of months are going to be tough since they are trying to staff up, really. Karen, did you have a hand?
Yes, good morning. I just wanted to announce that I am starting a new position with CityNet. I'm going to be a domestic violence case manager,
Hmm.
and that is basically going to be a rapid rehousing project that we have. It is countywide, so I could take referrals from here to Lompoc or Santa Maria. I just want to stress that it is rapid rehousing. It is not a permanent supportive housing program, so it is limited time help. We will not require any proof of domestic violence from the survivors. We won't pry on any of those questions. And I will give more information because it is brand new. I'll get more information as I get settled into the role.
That's awesome. Really cool to hear that you're starting that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
congratulations, Karen. That's great. I think it's perfect for your skills and expertise too. That's wonderful.
thank you. Yes. And then we'll be getting a certification training, or I'll be getting a certification training.
Cool.
But yeah, I just want to let you guys know if you have anybody that comes to mind, send me an email with their HMIS identifier and I can reach out to them.
Thank you. And we'll spread the word to other service providers as well.
Thank you.
All right. Well, now is the time in the meeting where we typically open it up for community members, just to share any concerns or questions. Today it's only Susie and Councilmember Santa Maria, so I don't know if either of you has anything you wanted to bring up related to homelessness.
I just want to share that I already have a calendar invite with Larry Haynes for February 18th. So from the
Great.
Mercy House. So we're just going to have a meet and greet, and I'll introduce him to Brian Borgatello and Derek Carlson as well, the owners.
That's great. Thanks for being so proactive. Anything from your end, Councilmember Santa Maria? No pressure.
No, nothing on my end. It's good to see everyone. Carrie, welcome to the team, and congrats, Carrie.
Awesome. So let's go around. Can we start with the CityNet team? Just any updates from the east side over the last 2 weeks?
I have a few updates. I know because of the rain, a lot of people have been flocking to the underpasses. Um, but we did go into Mercy House 2 weeks ago when it was raining, and there did seem to be a lot of people taking advantage of the rain beds there, which is good. Um, Again, it's limited because they're also getting settled. And we were offering rides to people from Faro to any of the warming shelters as well. That's still ongoing. We're here to offer that service. In terms of the waterfront, there haven't been any people on the side of I forgot the name of the ballpark. Cabrillo Ballpark, I believe. We haven't seen any when we've been going out, any more folks there. Um, there, so most days does seem to be a little more quiet, on the waterfront area. Um, I think more people are going more inward into the land. But yeah, for the most part, a lot of people have been going to the underpasses on Cacique and Milpas. And I actually am working with somebody who stays there as well. But that's the update I have on those areas. I don't know if Olivia has anything to add.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to unmute myself and it wasn't working. Yeah, things are going well. We have a few clients in that area that are making some good progress. Somebody just got into Mercy House. We have a couple people at the transitions program at the rescue mission. So we have quite a few people trying to get into treatment right now. And we've been doing some new intakes, so we've had some good traction in the area, more so in like the yeah, like Cacique and Yananali area.
Yeah, thank you both. We've talked a lot about the underpasses, I think, in recent weeks. So definitely a lot of people on this call have eyes on them, both service providers and community members. Why don't we go to Suzette from the rescue mission?
Hello, welcome, Carrie. I'm Suzette. I am the shelter manager over at the Rescue Mission. I was so glad to hear, Olivia, you mention our transition program, which we actually have newly renamed Connected Care Beds program.
Oh,
Yeah, what that is we have 12 spots for people that are either waiting to go into treatment or a housing possibility. It's more of a stabilization unit for people, and that's been a really great addition to the already 140 shelter beds that we operate every night at full capacity. We are still experiencing long waiting lists for the men and the women. We are continuing to develop our case management staff and program. We are having, I believe it was 64% of all of our guests and clients being served by case management. That was our last number. So we're very proud of that. We are connecting people to all kinds of services and resources in our city. And it's really a joy to see the fruits of those labors really happening before our eyes. We are, again, in a good period. We've been using this kind of peaceful time, as they say, to, repair the foundations and put up good guardrails and boundaries for our guests using our services, and also train the staff and work on all of that good staff teamwork that is important to have so that we provide quality services, not just quantity services to people experiencing homelessness.
Thank you, Suzette. I actually heard from someone who's staying at the rescue mission this week who called you out by name saying that they've appreciated, I think what you're talking about is the guardrails and boundaries, that they've been feeling safer than they have in the past. So appreciate that work.
Oh, that's great to hear. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Let's go to Andrew with code enforcement.
Thanks, Landon. Happy to be back. I know I haven't been able to attend one of these in some time, but my jury service is complete, so I'll be a more regular face here. It did put me in a bit of a limited role here. I was coming in for about 2 days a week and made it challenging to kind of stay exactly on the beat, but I was supporting as I could. Welcome aboard, Carrie. I'll look forward to meeting you, I think, probably at one of our city homelessness team meetings. So welcome to the city. And yeah, from a code enforcement perspective, a lot of what's already being spoken about, the underpasses, it's such a seasonal thing for us here as the weather turns. But then we get, what feels like summer weather for a turn, and that makes the beach really appealing. So we have seen a lot of activity. As some of you may have seen, the dredge pipe was actually pulled further up the beach due to the king tides. That's created an interesting sort of, not a shelter, but a camouflage or a barrier that's made it appealing to be on the other side of that on the beach. So we are dealing with a lot of individuals up and down East Beach and down towards the wharf, also who are using the habitat restoration, kind of butting up against that wooden fence. So we are working, to help those individuals. It's especially with the tides and the way the beach is eroding, it's really not a safe location. Just in this winter season, you don't know when a swell is going to come up or something like that. So working closely with the rangers, but outreach there is always appreciated. A lot of them are kind of up on the grass and moving about the east side during the day, but then sleeping on the beach at night. Aside from that, we are still having some issues along the creek, but nothing that's unmanageable. It's mostly been the fact that the Dwight Murphy Field construction project makes it a little limiting for our cleanup contractor to get in there and assist us. But still, we are able to work with those individuals and make contact. Otherwise, as far as the east side goes, the underpasses, and then some things are spilling up onto East Montecito Street and some of those, adjacent streets in that area. We're working to clean up those messes as best we can. But I do, like you guys have said, we've got a lot of great eyes on that area and a lot of great reporting coming in via SB Connect. So we really appreciate everyone's, continued reporting and keeping us updated. It helps us to kind of keep the work lined up and to have updates, aside from the fact that we're driving down there on a daily, if not, hourly kind of basis. So just appreciate everyone's support in keeping us in the loop.
Well, thank you, Andrew. We're really glad you're back. Do they move that dredge pipe every winter?
Yeah, it's twice a year, and it's usually tucked in underground and not on top. But because the sand has pushed up to the point where there's nothing there for them to put the pipe down into, it's now up top and blocking pedestrian access, if that makes sense.
It does. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically like right on top of the ice plant now. And they have had to like sandbag some of the actual little sand cutouts because I know that King Tide event we had was, I think the water was actually pushing all the way through and up into Chase Palm Park. So,
Wow. Okay. All
but
right.
again, it's a great barrier and a new thing for people to tie things to and then make attachments and whatnot. But another event, sort of swell event or tide event like that, we really it'd be a big uh, public safety issue. So
Okay. All right. Thanks, Andrew. Lieutenant Beltran.
Yeah, thanks, Landon. I'll be pretty brief. I don't really have a whole lot to update on. We kind of tend to shadow a lot of the areas that Andrew talks about and his team deals with. But for the most part, I don't really have any new updates. Just kind of dealing with all the same stuff down in the area, Cassique, the footbridge over on Cassique, and like the train tracks area, and same thing with the ball fields. Things are just kind of like as they pop up, we deal with them. But there's nothing really that has popped up that's been like a new concern or anything like that. Just maybe some other things around the city, but not so much on the east side. But that's really it for me.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
That is everyone. I don't know if anybody has anything else they wanted to check in about or announcements while we're all together.
Um, Landon, we had a kind of illegal dumping incident on Monday during the holiday on the underpass on Milpas. We received a report from an Eastside leader, and it happened to be 4:30 on a holiday. So in terms of our ability to respond, we asked folks for patience, but the team got on it on Tuesday and was able to clear it out later that afternoon. I do want to clarify because there was kind of a question of like, could Mercy House assist with this? And I do want to just confirm with everyone that that is very much a city responsibility. So when we see things like encampment um, issues or unhoused individuals that have excessive personal belongings, or if there's illegal dumping or even spillover from trash cans, that is Andrew and his team. And so we want to route those requests accordingly, and then they're able to respond. And then there was a mention too at the community meeting last week, and we talk about it every so often here, but individuals that are hanging out on public benches and public seats and are not doing anything illegal. There's a sit lie ordinance for Lower Milpas and Milpas Street, which is a citation. But other than that, there's not a lot of recourse. We can have folks, engaged with outreach. Obviously, Olivia and the team are there and going through the corridor regularly. Andrew and his team are going through the corridor regularly, and we're doing everything we can to see if folks are receptive. But I'm just we kind of hear every so often the expectation of these people need to not be here, and it's like if they're not doing anything illegal and they're sitting on a bench, it's really important for us to do the right thing and be able to show a level of compassion, but then deal with the issues that we can that are actually violations of the municipal code, if that makes sense. Okay.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, Barbara, thank you for that recap. It actually stimulated a thought that I wanted to bring up there. When you're getting off on turning right onto Milpas, and then your next right is Cassique. Right there on that off ramp, there's a individual that has built kind of his own encampment and housing, and I think there might be some mental challenges, meaning he's appears to be talking to the ground and things. So, um, but I could foresee when we get rain, it's definitely building up. So, Andrew, you might want to check that spot out if you haven't done so already.
Yeah, we'd be happy to go look at that. We can coordinate with Caltrans as well, just on those off-ramp cleanings. Those are kind of precarious situations, and again, another public safety hazard. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, very,
absolutely.
very
And
much so.
Susie, to reiterate too, because it's exactly our priority, which is the transit corridor, creeks and waterways, that public health, public safety impact, environmental impact. We want to be able to respond to that within 24 hours or less. So that's our commitment. And it is because of your reporting that we're able to be proactive and keeping those areas, as safe as possible for everyone. So thank you. Thanks for that.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
problem. That's all I got. I hope you guys have a nice weekend to let you do
Susie.
your next phase of your meeting.
Thanks, Susie.
Okay, take care. Ciao.
Take care. I did want to mention one last thing too related to that, that it came up at the meeting with some people I was talking to, that we generally, the meeting goes about a half hour, but if there is more community discussion, we allow time for that. So I know at least one person has told me, oh, I don't want to come. There's not enough time to actually talk about things. But I want to make it clear to community members that we actually do have time to talk about things if there are issues to talk about. So just noting that, and hopefully we can keep spreading the word that, hey, the space is here. Come talk to us about any issues you have. All right, anything else before we wrap up today? All right. Well, we'll say thank you to our community members and service providers. If you can stick around, that would be great. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Landon.
Thank you.